morning.
We are back again. Woohoo!
Yes, yay.
And hey there, everyone. Thanks so much for being here, joining us for Brand Rewind Live. It is Thursday, May 11th. How you guys doing? It's a beautiful day. We are
Lovely day.
all here. I'm Denise Kegler, coming to you from a very nice Boston, Massachusetts. My company is MDK Brand Management.
Hello, everyone. I am Barika Phillips Bell, and I am coming to you from a lovely Los Angeles, California. And I'm so happy to see you all here.
Okay, and hello everyone. My name is Fatia Abdul-Razak, and I'm coming to you from a really warm Harlem. It's beautiful today. A lot of people are outside, and the name of my company is the Stylista Group.
So I have to start by just saying something I was telling Barika earlier, just an aside. So I am so into movies and actors. I'm sort of like a kid when it comes to stuff like that, celebrity sightings and all that. And I was telling Barika earlier, Patia, you never guess what. I'm working. I've been so crazed today, and I'm watching the news at 6 o'clock, and they tell the audience, the anchors say that there was a shooting, a film shoot
Mm-hmm.
less than a mile from my house,
Oh
and
my
they had
God.
overhead helicopters showing Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Less than a mile.
Really? Oh my God.
I'm so annoyed. I missed it. I'm so annoyed.
And I was telling her she didn't miss anything because they weren't going to let her get close enough to ever be
Exactly. Like you were
right
never
on the
getting that
set.
close.
I don't care. I don't care. I would have tried. I would have tried. I'm like, oh my God, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were less than a mile from my house.
Right. That is crazy.
It is crazy.
It was crazy. It was funny. It was funny. Not so funny, but a really good acknowledgement and celebration of what is special today. Today, May 11th, is the National Recognition of Children's Mental Health Awareness Day.
Okay.
Is today. You guys might know the entire month of May
His
is
mental health.
exactly
Right.
mental health
Yeah.
awareness month, and
Mm-hmm.
today there's a specific focus on children who have mental health issues. So shout out to all the folks, all the parents, all the responders, all the medical teams, healthcare professionals who take care of and ensure that our kids are taken care of, and to the kids
Yes.
themselves. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely.
Thinking about them all for sure.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was thinking why this is so important because I feel like a lot of mental illness, like if it's addressed in childhood, maybe it wouldn't progress and become, the big issue that it can become when these
Yeah,
issues are not addressed. So, this is good.
yeah, no, it's good. It is good. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, thinking about them.
Yep. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, it was just Denise and I, and we decided to try something new and kind of have an unscripted format where we just kind of discussed the topics of the day. And we had such a great show, so much engagement, that we decided that we would do it again. So today, we will be covering the latest and greatest topics. Right, we have one that we just found out about that we like to
Yes.
kick things
Yes.
off with, and we would love for you to join us freestyle and let us know what you think, especially of the first topic. So, Barika, you take it away.
Okay, guys. So this is actually hot off the presses. Just found this out that Elon Musk is stepping down from Twitter as the CEO. We had to take double looks, triple looks to help fact check this information because it was actually very shocking. But he tweeted about it and he said in his tweet, excited to announce that we've hired a new CEO for Twitter. She will be starting in less than 6 weeks.
Wow.
So if you remember, he bought Twitter for $44 billion back in October. And it was only going to be a limited time that he was going to be there. And actually, he followed through on what he said. He's only going to be there for a little while. And so she's going to be here less than 6 weeks. Any ideas who you think it is?
I have no idea. None.
So,
I,
and do you think it was because he said that he all along he was going to step down, or that what was it, a poll that said
it
if
was
people
he did
vote,
both. He
he did
said
both,
it, and then he actually did a Twitter poll that said that should he continue on as president or should he step down. So he did
right?
both. Pending that,
Really?
some of the people that they are saying it might be are Ella Irwin, who currently handles trust and safety at Twitter. There's also a woman named Robin Denholm, who is on Tesla's board of directors.
Mm.
Gwen Shotwell is the SpaceX's president and chief operating officer.
Hmm.
And then
Interesting.
there's Linda Yaccarino, who leads partnerships for NBC Universal.
Mm.
So those are some of the names being thrown around and who could potentially be the new president for
Hmm.
Twitter.
Interesting. Well, I guess we have 6 weeks to speculate and research and try to figure out who it's going to
I'm
be.
sure conspiracy theorists are going to be talking, so I'm sure.
Absolutely. And I just wonder if he's going to be hands off going forward or if he's still going to try
No,
to control things. Like,
no.
I mean, good
No,
luck to this person. I have a feeling that they're in for a very bumpy ride.
I
That's why I
agree.
think it's gonna. I think it's an insider because it's got to be someone who's going to be have been used to working with Musk,
Yeah.
someone who can
Right.
deal with him, who can deal with him. Yeah,
I agree. I
Well,
agree.
most of them on the list are people that have worked in his companies.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
noticed that.
I'm sure that it probably will go to him, one of
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Fascinating.
Wow. That was definitely, I hadn't heard about that. I'm kind of like, have to go do my research after the show and see what else
Yes.
I can dig up. Right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so moving on. I don't know how many of you have been following the Anheuser-Busch slash Bud Light fallout lately.
Mm.
And this is around them choosing to use Dylan Mulvaney as their spokesperson. So the relationship with Dylan started, I think, last month around April 1st, and they thought that I'm going to read exactly what Alyssa Hirschfield, their vice president of marketing, said in an interview, and pretty much she felt like the brand needed to be more inclusive. She said the brand is on the decline and that it's been on a decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. And so I'm sure this wasn't her only solution, but the most controversial solution that she came up with was working with Miss Mulvaney to be a brand ambassador. And in case you guys don't know who this person is, Miss Mulvaney is a transgender influencer, very popular on TikTok, has over 10 million followers, and has been actively documenting her transition online. So if the goal here, and I can kind of see the line of thinking, if the
Mm.
goal here is to attract
Mm.
younger consumers, then definitely TikTok, somebody on
Mhm.
TikTok who is influential would make sense. However, what has happened is the opposite. Instead of sales being on the incline, they have actually declined further because people are not happy at all with this choice of brand ambassador.
Mm.
So the sales have been declining. Um, Current customers have been calling for boycotts of the brand, which is very damaging.
Yeah.
And they aren't necessarily attracting any new consumers because of this choice. Because sometimes, even if current customers are unhappy, if you see an incline in usage with new customers, well, at least they're reaching who they're trying to reach. But this is not the case.
Mm.
And so for me, when as I've been hearing about all of this, I've been saying to myself that on the one hand, I can understand her thinking and attracting a newer audience, but it's never a good idea for a brand to alienate their loyal customers, the
Yeah.
people who have actually supported them throughout the years, and they should have been more aware of who that customer is. And unfortunately, for that loyal customer, the choice of influencer in Dylan was not the right choice. And so they've actually had the opposite happen to them. And so, as of I think last week, both Alyssa and Danielle Blake, who were overseeing marketing for the brand, have been put on leave. So, you know what's probably going to happen to them, right? And the
Yeah.
company is trying to decide what to do next. So Barika, did we lose Barika? Oh, she'll be back.
Yes.
Barika also had another, I know we were talking about it before the show that I wasn't aware of, that it's not only the brand itself that has been suffering because of this choice. Barika, there you go. I was trying to lead into what you were going to say. So Barika, you said that you also noticed or you read that establishments who are carrying the brand started to
Yeah.
see a decline. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, actually, because of the story, a lot of the different bars that were trying to be supportive, also trying to be a part of the inclusive and like DEI, that was part of what their branding is, have also
Mhm.
started to see declines in their own clientele because those
Oh,
patrons that were conservative and that are staunch advocates of, conservative views
Yeah.
did not want to participate or support bars that have opposite viewpoints. And
mhm,
so some of the bars actually tried to stand up against those patrons, and they ended up having to ask them to come back and kind of like cave on the fact that they were trying to take a stand at that point
mhm,
because they need people to come and drink at the bars
mhm,
just to be able to pay their bills.
Exactly.
So, I mean, and there were a number of Midwest, primarily in East Coast bars that have suffered clientele losses because of the whole Bud Light fiasco. So it trickles down
mhm.
from the overall corporation to even those trying to support the direction.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right. So the
I did read that they fired the Budweiser or Anheuser-Busch fired the marketing agency. Apparently it was some rogue agency working on its own, Anheuser-Busch, and they all say this. They didn't know. They didn't know.
yeah, they always
Yeah,
say that.
They
Come
all,
on,
they all,
somebody signed the contracts, right? Give.
right.
I mean,
Somebody knew.
at
Yeah.
right.
some
Right.
at some point.
Yeah. I mean, I worked in large companies. Nothing like that.
Nothing just trickles through.
Right.
Exactly. There's
Exactly.
all these layers of
Yeah.
bureaucracy. So give us a break
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. So what is the overarching lesson here, you ladies? I think it's that you really need to know who your customer is. And when you're
I,
making decisions, you have to keep them in mind. Even if you're trying to attract new customers, you can't alienate the customers that exist, right?
No.
yeah,
So
and,
absolutely.
and to me, like it's simple. Like, what is our audience? Like, who is our base? And if they are like going to take offense to. I think that there just could have been a better way to do what they're trying to
Right.
do. And that just was one of the ways that, unfortunately, that base is not ready to be inclusive of
Yeah.
everybody in every
Mhm.
form. So
Yeah.
you kind of need to know what is going to be your bread and butter and what's not.
Exactly. I absolutely
So
agree.
there's a comment from Mindful Mommy Live. OMG, it's a disaster for their company. I don't know if this is referring to the Twitter or Anheuser Busch because I can't remember when that came across. I'm curious to know more. Do you guys know whether they're referring to the which story?
Based on the timestamp, I think she's referring to Anheuser Busch.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a disaster. They need to fix it fast because
yeah.
declining sales and more declining sales is not. Yeah, she clarified it was Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
Not
Especially going into the summer, right?
especially going into the summer
Exactly.
beer drinking season. This is not a
Yes.
good
Summer
look for them.
baseball and beer. Come on now.
I know
Exactly.
this is not working at all.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Denise, what do you have for us?
Oh my goodness. So speaking of brands, so Jenny Craig, and I have some familiarity with Jenny Craig. I will admit to, because we're all open books here. I'm an
Right,
open book.
right.
So they went out of business and it was like a week's notice. And what's interesting about the reason they went out of business is because of all of this off label use of various drugs like diabetes drugs. People are realizing that these drugs are very good for weight loss. So
Mm-hmm.
now you have celebrities and other folks who can go to the doctor and say, hey, I know I don't have diabetes, but can you give me a prescription for this? And the two that are coming to mind that are being I guess credited, if you will, probably bad word with putting Jenny Craig out
Yeah.
of business. Ozempic, we've seen all those commercials. I've got the jingle in my
Mhm.
head. We've all seen those commercials.
Mhm.
Ozempic.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Now I'll go to sleep with that in my head tonight.
You're welcome.
But it's interesting. So they're saying the treatment originally designed as a diabetes drug has gained attention as celebrities and TikTok influencers have described taking it to lose weight.
Wow.
So they're saying that the surprising effect is a also surprising effect is the reduced desire to drink alcohol.
Wow.
Interesting. So
By
Ozempic, So people are going in and getting this drug. But I did read that because people are using it off label to lose weight, that people who actually need it for diabetes aren't able
Oh
to
my
find it.
God.
I know. And the other one, Manjaro. I know I've seen those commercials too. I think it's Manjaro. That's also being used, and that is an injection that people take who need it for their diabetes. And they're saying that there's an injection pen that doctors are prescribing for weight loss. So you literally inject yourself. And
Wow.
so these drugs are putting companies, or at least Jenny Craig, out of business. Jenny Craig tried to find funding to at least transition to an online model where, like, I think Weight Watchers does this. I've never done Weight Watchers, but I think Weight Watchers does it where you have your weigh-ins or your weekly sessions online. You buy your well, in the Weight Watchers, you don't buy food. You wait, what's it? You points or whatever. You go into the store and you buy regular food. I think that's how Weight Watchers works. But so they don't have issues with that. But Jenny Craig tried to get funding to switch to this online model, and there were no takers. Nobody
Oh
would
my
do it.
God.
And so they were told on, I think Wednesday, no, Saturday, the news broke. Last Saturday, 2 weeks ago, Saturday, the news broke. Then it was all over the news. But again, they thought they were going to be able to switch to an online model. And then I think it was Wednesday when I saw come across, and the CEO said, "Oh, couldn't find any takers. As of Saturday, our stores our
Oh my God.
offices are all
That is
closed."
That is
crazy.
crazy.
That's
It's crazy.
crazy.
All those folks out of work. Yeah, out of work. It's really something, and it's sad. It just goes to show you what can happen when certain things are what can happen. So you have these drugs not meant for one issue being used for an issue, and then wiping out an entire organization. Entire,
Yeah.
uh,
Because even Weight Watchers being online model, like, have they started to see a decline in their sales?
That was my next question.
maybe.
Like, are
That's
they
gonna
gonna?
be
I mean,
Yeah,
right?
probably, but they may not have as much overhead as
True.
Jenny Craig. I'm guessing because they don't have. I don't know actually. I don't know if they have somebody online. If you anybody who's willing to admit, like I'm willing to admit that I have done Jenny Craig. Anyone willing to or knows, to have done Weight Watchers, but I am curious if they have offices. I don't know if they have people. I'm sure there's staff, but do they have as many offices around? Like Jenny Craig, you go in and there's staff people in person who weigh you in, who you
No,
sit
that's
there.
not the Weight Watchers model at all.
That's not
No.
okay. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Jenny Craig was more like you had an accountability partner that you were kind of like, that you had to be accountable to. I think Weight Watchers is just like you're kind of like looking at the points and kind of adding,
Right. You're
and the
just yes,
points add
exactly.
up to what you should be eating for your body type and what you're
yeah.
trying to accomplish.
Yeah. There was a story, and I'll end it here. There was a story that I caught, I think last week, where Kris Jenner was in a big event. I don't think it was the Met Gala. I think it was some other big event, and she wore this very clingy outfit. So social media was like, "Are you taking one of those diet drugs? Aren't you taking?" So they immediately jumped that she was injecting herself with one of these medications. And she's like, no. Her response was, no, no, I'm not doing that. And we're like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So it's working. I mean, there were real people who were on Instagram, Twitter, showing their big clothes, like their pants, how big
Huge.
their pants were, and then saying,
Yeah.
oh, look, I just injected myself and look how much weight I've lost. Like, oh my
You
God.
know, this is great and wonderful. I'm just concerned about what the long term side effects of this, is going to be. I mean,
Yeah,
you
there
know,
are.
why,
Yeah.
what is it doing that everything else, every other method of weight loss doesn't do or couldn't do or whatever? And like, yeah, you have the immediate benefit, but is it in the long term, like 5, 10 years from now, all of these people that are injecting
Yeah.
themselves, like, is it?
Well,
I don't know.
I think what the companies have said now that they know that this off-label benefit is happening, what they're going to do, I think what I read, what they're going to do is extract whatever it is within this diabetes, as an example, diabetes medication that is now causing folks to lose weight, and actually package that
As
up
a
as
weight loss.
Yeah,
a
as a
weight
weight loss.
loss.
I mean, that's
That
safer
stuff.
because, like, whatever is the active ingredient that helps diabetes patients, may not be something that somebody who is healthy needs to
Right.
actually
Should
take.
be should be injecting themselves with. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
you
I
would
agree.
never know.
I agree.
Which is why they're looking to pull out what it is that's causing the weight loss and package that separately so that
Okay.
they don't have the side effects
I
related
feel
to.
I feel better about that approach.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do.
I
Agree.
Yeah.
feel better about that approach. Okay,
All
Well,
Denise,
right.
anything else interesting that you have?
Um, what else do we have? So there was the coronation.
there was the
Uh,
coronation
yes,
and the
And
American Idol appearance.
exactly. Yeah. The So I did. I Did you guys watch it?
I
So I
didn't.
watched American Idol. I didn't watch the coronation.
So you saw the king and queen appear on American.
I
Yeah, I watched it. I watched some of it. I admit that I get caught up in the whole pageantry of it, but more than that, because I didn't really care. It was not so much the coronation. I'm just sort of one of those a girl at heart. The princess, being wanting to be a princess when you're a little girl. You want to wear the gown and the crown, all that stuff. So I never really lost that my inner
princess.
queen, well, princess, yeah, princess. So I did watch it, but I tell you, you guys probably saw all of the press come out about the history of the monarchy and some of the issues about slavery
Yeah.
and colonialism. I can never say that word, and theft from countries, India and other countries, of jewels that now people are suing for. They want it back. I mean, it's a whole nother
Yeah.
side. Talk
Yeah.
about a brand, a tarnished brand when
I
it comes.
agree.
No, that's
I
what we
agree.
were talking about, and kind of like why I just thought it was interesting to me to see the royal family on American Idol, like the juxtaposition of that,
Yeah,
and granted they were there, but it's just kind of like I felt like they were trying to be cool,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like you're not cool for so many reasons.
Reasons that, and this is not gonna help you
And this
at
is not
all.
going to
It'll get
help if
worse
you're trying to
actually.
relate, right? If you're trying to repair your brand, this is not going to help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think we've spoken about, brand repair for them. They need to start giving back the artifacts and the jewels and things. Like I would believe them more about trying to, improve their image and mean in well if they did things like, I mean, how many diamonds do you need and crowns and artifacts that don't belong to you? Like if you really want to repair the brand, start there.
yeah. There was a statement from Buckingham Palace told the Guardian that slavery and colonialism are matters that, quote, His Majesty takes profoundly seriously, but end quote, but none of the jewels that were reportedly stolen have been returned.
Of course. Well,
Hmm.
well,
Of course.
exactly.
Yeah.
So so they should start there, and then I'll believe them. American Idol is not going to do it.
Yeah, and I did see that cameo, and they look so awkward.
I mean, of course, it's like
was
so
awkward.
off brand. Like
It's off brand.
it's
It was.
ridiculous.
I was like, oh, why they do that? Why they do that?
Like
I
who
tell you
made that
though,
decision? Oh my god.
exactly. Someone made that
Do you
decision.
think it was to counteract the other part of the drama going on with that family with
The
Prince,
Harry and
with
Meghan.
Harry and Meghan?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's not gonna do. I mean, no.
that I don't think that would do it, but I feel like it was a play to really to get people that are younger to kind of have FaceTime with the royal family who are already cool to think about them in a cool way. And that's not necessarily
It
how they're
didn't hit
gonna
the mark at
it,
all.
it,
Nope.
it was
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so awkward. I think everybody in it was felt it was just an awkward moment that
Right.
should have never happened.
I agree.
yeah. And how sad did Harry look? Ooh,
I
he just
know.
He was like
so
sitting way at
sad.
the back or wherever. I don't know. It's such a
Yeah,
saga.
the whole
Yeah.
thing is sad. The whole thing, all talk. Yeah, the whole episode, the whole um rift between these brothers who were so close for so long and now enters third party. Well, I shouldn't say it like that, his wife, because it is his wife. I don't know, it's sad to me. And I did watch that wedding, and I watched
Yeah.
Princess Diana's wedding to the now King Charles way back
Right.
in the 80s, I think it was,
Right.
early 80s. But they've to your point, they've got some work to do as far as their brand for sure. But apparently, King Charles understands what he that they need to make some changes to
Okay.
improve their brand. We'll see what happens. I'm just, someone from afar, just sort of,
Yeah.
interested. I have
Well,
no best.
with everything else, actions speak louder than words. So let's
Yeah,
see what actually happens.
yeah.
Well, I have this one update that I have to give you guys, and that is just like the royal family, California will not be giving any reparations
Oh
to
yes, I saw
Americans.
that. Yes,
So,
yes,
unfortunately,
yes.
Wait, was anyone believing that that was going to happen? Come
I
yes,
I I did.
on.
Remember when we spoke about it, and I was like, yeah,
I said,
right.
I
I
said, we
was
said that wasn't going to happen. We knew
first
that
of
was.
all, I was shocked that there was actually a committee that was set up to find out how we were going to get reparations in California. And so now my woke governor is looking for a way to nicely get out of having to pay billions of dollars to African American people that we as a state do not have.
Yeah, I was gonna say California is broke, so why
Yeah.
why were
Exactly.
they even talking about it?
Right. And so his answer was not no, but I'm just gonna wait till they finish their report in June, and then I'll take a look at it, and then we'll see. But it's not about money. It's not about money. It's about making sure that we feel that these people feel like they're at home here and squishy feely. That was how he responded
Wait,
because
wait, Rika, did he use the words these people?
no, he did not use
No.
the word
Okay.
these people. He used the words. He had a formal apology. They asked for a formal apology, and him to they wanted him to say yes or no, and he decided to defer the decision
Mhm.
until after they
Okay.
submit their report.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
So
he's gonna say no.
he didn't say no,
No, he
but
will.
everybody knows that he's gonna have to say no.
Because where's
Every
the money gonna come from? I mean,
Taxes.
it goes back
well,
to
no,
that.
and no, because California, like people have left the state because they
Yeah.
Right.
no longer, they no longer want to pay the high taxes. They
Right.
don't no longer want the benefits of so many people left. Students left because of COVID. So you saw this massive exodus since, but in 2020 is actually when he created the coalition to come up with this. And now they have their findings, and now he's like, yeah, about that. We're gonna
Wow.
wait till the full report.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay.
So
We won't hold our breath for
we
that.
don't hold your breath for reparations here.
No.
You probably have a better chance of the diamonds being returned than
Exactly.
diamonds and artifacts.
Because how much? It was billions, Marika, billions of dollars, right?
It was literally
No.
800 billion.
Yeah, no.
Was
Their
it?
plan is for 800 billion.
Good
Oh,
for them.
wow.
Like
Oh,
But could
like
you
if
imagine
you
if that actually could happen? Like that's a whole different discussion. You know?
yeah.
yeah.
Whole different discussion.
Yep.
Well, we're almost out of time, but really quickly I'll mention that in the Big Apple, our mayor is cracking down on car thefts by giving out air tags.
Mm,
Right?
I have
That's
one in my
nice.
car.
Yeah, yeah. So about 500, I think, are being handed out to car owners. And I didn't realize this, but there's been an uptick in car thefts, specifically Hyundai's and Kias, because of
Yeah.
a TikTok challenge. You
Yeah.
guys, like social media is having such a huge impact, positively and negatively, on our lives
Everyday things.
Every day.
Everyday.
every day. So people are stealing cars because of a TikTok challenge. Oh my
That's
goodness,
terrible.
what are we doing?
That's
And
terrible.
so it's really horrible. And so to counteract this, our mayor is giving out air tags so that people can actually track their cars down if they are stolen, when or if they're stolen. It's sad. It's
But
ridiculous
you
that
know what? But
we
you
have
know
to
what?
even do this.
Wait.
Yes. But
That's
you
like
know, you know, but you know what's interesting about this? So I have an AirTag in my car. Okay. you can take it out. I mean, if people see it, they just throw it out the window. Then you can't. And I
I
don't have.
agree. I agree. I
And I
guess
don't have.
so the challenge or the trick is to hide it someplace where
Yeah, yeah. You can't
somebody wouldn't
find it.
suspect that it is. Because you're
Yeah,
right. Once it's thrown out the window later for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
you
don't
have
have
to get creative in placing it someplace where
Placing it, and
it
I
wouldn't
do
be
have
found.
mine for
noticed.
my. I don't have mine for a fear that my car is going to be stolen. I have mine so I can find my car when I.
The parking garage. I love it.
And on that note,
On that note, let's see what the audience thinks.
oh,
Oh
no.
my god, that is
Oh,
hilarious.
that was hilarious.
Very much
So
so.
I think that wraps up our show today, ladies. So if
Yes, it does.
you're out there, please make sure that you sign up for Brand Rewind. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and join our YouTube page and our Facebook group.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you
and
for
we.
joining us. And
Yeah,
if you have a topic that you'd like us to cover, you can also email us at brandrewind@gmail.com.
yeah. We look forward to seeing you right back here in 2 weeks on Thursday, May 25th. Wow, Thursday,
I
May
know.
25th. Can't believe it. We are flying by this month.
Yes, we are. Yes, we
So
are.
thank you guys for being here. Thanks for your engagement. Hope you had fun. We certainly always do. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.